I mean, do we really? I mean, we've kind of touched on it before. Do we really have a dilemma here in Toronto?
No, like
No.
I don't think we do anymore at this point, Lepore. And I think, you know, after Campbell, there was a stretch there. There was like about 4 games where he did not look good. Like he
Yeah,
fell
we were
off
all
a
very
cliff.
afraid.
He had like, what was it, like a 960 save percentage over like a 4 or 5 game stretch. And we thought, you know what? Maybe Andersen is coming back into this net. And listen, I know he got lit up in the AHL. Like, I'll just pull up his numbers real quick here, Lepore. So he played a half a game for the Marlies on May 6th. He allowed 2 goals on 14 shots, and then played 2 nights later and allowed 4 goals on 38 shots.
Okay.
So, like, I don't want to totally get carried away with that and be like, oh, Andersen's terrible. But it's gone to the point now, Lepore, where Jack Campbell, and you just look at the numbers, 17-2-2 with a 923 save percentage. I just think there's no way that they're not putting him in the net game 1.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we're done. I was trying to think of something to say, and then it's just like, yeah, no, like we can't. Like,
Yeah,
what
their hands
what
are
take,
tied, right?
yeah, what take am I gonna have here? But what I see it too, and I've mentioned this to people. I don't think I've seen it on the podcast. I said it on the podcast, but the way I see it is similar to the Fleury and Murray situation a few years ago in Pittsburgh, where Murray took the spot from Fleury. People forget that. And Murray got injured. And then not so bad for Pittsburgh. They go into the playoffs with Marc-Andre Fleury. And then it was game 3 against Ottawa in the conference finals where Fleury got pulled because like they were riding him. He was playing well. They were riding him. But by that point, Murray was healthy, but they just didn't want to mesh it up because Fleury was playing well. And then Murray went in at that point and history was written. The Penguins won the Stanley Cup. So I see the Leafs approaching the situation like that. We're going to ride this guy. He's hot. It'd be ridiculous to walk away from a guy who's playing like this. But if things change directions in a hurry, Frederick Andersen's not a bad choice to go with either, right?
Yeah, and that's what I was just going to say. Like, I feel a hell of a lot more comfortable having Andersen as the backup sitting on the bench in the playoffs, rather than David Riddick or Michael Hutchinson.
Yeah, we're done if it's one of those guys. Like, pack it up.
Man, oh man, if one of those guys has to come in and, let's say the Leafs, I don't know, go down 2-1 in the opening round, heading into game 4, and you're like, oh my Lord, like, are they going to turn to like David Riddick in this?
Yeah.
Like, if they had to like turn to one of those guys, right? If they were in a pinch, they needed to change the momentum of the series, and Campbell was shaky in the previous game, like, I'd much rather see Freddie Andersen step onto the ice than David Riddick.
Yeah, it's just like, okay, Freddie now. Like, that kind of like be our reaction, right? It wouldn't be the sky is falling. Okay, now we're going to Freddie, and he's shown he can be good. So there definitely were situations that a team could be in when that at the time starting goalie is getting taken out of the net.
Yeah, man. I think that just about wraps up that conversation.